Hello, good people, and how are you doing today? My name is Susan Kibe Atsulu. I am born again. I love Jesus. I am a product of grace, and I want to welcome you to Sukibe YouTube Conversations. This is a platform where we are embracing the journey of authenticity, one conversation at a time. Susan Kibe is the founder of Claim Your Crown, which is a mentorship program that runs mentorship for moms parenting alone. We also help people walk the journey of self-awareness, help them find identity so that they can actually walk in authenticity and make that part of their lives. Susan Kibe is also an author of Gracefully Broken, which is a story of my life that I've authored as a testament of the journey I've been through, lessons picked, and the victory that came at the end of finding me. And that is why I'm passionate about helping people find themselves. And so last time we were here, we discussed about attachment styles. What are they? How are they formed? And time was not on our side. The cameras kept flickering red because we just needed to go. And so we are back for part 2 of attachment styles. And once again, I want to invite my guest to introduce herself so that we kick it up from there. Karibu.
Thank you, Sue. Good day, everyone. I'm so excited to be back talking about something I'm very passionate about, the attachment styles. And in this session, just like Sue said, we covered some things in the previous episode, and today we are going to look at some of the traits, because I know it wasn't enough what we said before. So we are going to talk about some of the traits. Then we are going to look at how people feed, those traits so that they can keep on moving with their attachment style without having the need to change. And then, of course, we'll look at what help is there then. Thank you.
What help is there? Maybe there's somebody who has not watched part 1. This is the one they have come across. So remind them who you are and what you do.
I guess I looked at it now. We know each other well enough.
It's a passion.
Yes. My name is Alina Kiende. I am a psychologist by profession, and I am very passionate and just working around people to find their emotional and psychological stability so that they can face life and become everything that God brought them into this world to become.
Yeah. Amazing. I love the fact that you actually introduced yourself by like saying what we are going to discuss because of where we are coming from.
Yes.
Because I realized last time, time was not on our side. By the time we were being told, we had just begun.
Yeah.
And so we are going to dive right in.
Right.
So that we make use of the time we have. And so that also by the time you leave, our guests will really benefit from what you have to share.
Right.
Yeah, so we start from there. The traits.
Yeah, so the traits, we're going to start with the anxious attachment. And as we said, the first thing, they like that close intimacy with people. So that is something that you will notice. They are very physical. They want to be close with someone. They are very warm. They are empathetic as well. In as much as they can be self-absorbed with their needs and what I want and what I need, they are also able to see others, especially the people that they are not intimate with, because as we said, attachment style come full swing when you meet the person that you're attached to. And then they spend a lot of their time worrying about the relationship. Like they're just obsessed with the relationship. And in fact, it can get to a point where it's so serious until every other aspect of them dies. They're only thinking about the marriage. They don't want to work. They don't want to do, they just want to consume themselves with the relationship. And then they fear that if I do something wrong, even if it's small, it's going to end my relationship. And therefore, they end up also becoming people pleasers. In the process, they fear that they have this deep-rooted fear that their partner is going to cheat on them.
Oh.
And therefore, they are on the lookout. What are you up to? Your phone? They just want to look at every aspect of your life. And then they like also playing games and manipulating, with an aim to manipulate. They are the kind of people who will be like, you call them, they don't pick intentionally, not because they're busy. They want you to miss them. That kind of playing games. When you go on a date, even if they want to say thank you, let's wait for you, like those kind of games, because they want to keep you interested. Yeah, so, but you know, now that those kinds of games, they're the reason why they attract even the avoidants, which is one group they should avoid to date.
Oh,
Yes, but they attract those.
okay.
Yeah, so those are some of the traits. There are several others, but I feel like we don't have all the time to discuss each and every one of them in details. And therefore, we look at when an anxious person is touched or rubbed wrongly, how do they manifest? And one of the ways they deal with life when they are touched is the endless calls, because they really want, like for instance, you can be at, like the way we are here on set, and your phone is probably off or on silent or whatever. If your person was anxious and they called once, you
You
didn't
don't
pick,
find me.
oh my god, they will call your phone until it goes off. And it's because they cannot help it. It's not because they want to. Something in them, remember the where it started, abandonment,
Yes,
rejection.
yes.
So their mood already jumped. This is it. We are being abandoned. We are being left. So they will call and call and call. Another one, silent treatment. And that should tell you,
Oh,
they're very bad at conflict resolution, because instead of facing the issue and dealing with it, they'll go quiet on you.
oh,
Yeah. So it becomes a challenge now to even communicate, because that means
Yeah.
they're not communicating.
communicating.
Yes.
So what does that do to the other person?
That must be very difficult, because first of all, if it's an anxious, if you're dealing now with a secure person, there's a way they are able to tell you what you're doing to me is affecting me like this. For instance, when you call me 1,000 times, I feel like you're nagging.
Yes.
I feel like you're stalking. Even stalkers, I'm sure for
yeah.
most part, they probably have
The
these traits. They'll
anxious
be
traits.
following you. You turn a corner, they turn the corner to see which lady or the man you're going to meet.
Yeah.
You know? So it makes the other person feel like you don't trust me, you don't believe in me. And nobody feels good when they know they are not trusted. They want to know
true.
that you trust me. You trust that I love you enough not to be jumping out. Even going out with a colleague for lunch can be a trigger for somebody with anxious attachments. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, and so some of those things I realized that will be causing more harm because, like, no, let's say if you want to find out who I'm talking to, where did I go, and all that. Even this person who probably has no trust issues, sometimes I feel like it will push you to, you know what, I'll actually go to the club. Now I'm going to hang out so that you get a reason to. And that was not even the original idea. So I feel like we should be careful on how the way you talked about empathy in the last episode, that once I know this person portrays these traits, like how to counter is to also look at you with a lot of empathy and always say extend grace.
Yes.
So that you don't push the other person to the extreme.
Yeah, and also another thing somebody can do is become very transparent. Transparent in a way that reassures and assures them. Because there's a difference between being honest and transparent. Honest, you're just waiting for me to ask you so that
Then
you
I'll
can
tell
tell
you the
me.
truth. Yeah.
But if you went for lunch with a colleague,
I'll tell
you
you.
can tell me, oh, today I went out with my colleague. These are some of the things we talked about, and these are the things we concluded.
Wow.
So it sort of assures them
Yes.
that you're outright open with me. And therefore, honesty, you wait for me until I find out, or a friend of mine tells me, oh, I saw
Yes.
your wife
Yeah.
with someone having lunch.
Yes.
And then when I ask you is when you start telling me the same story. I actually went out with a colleague, and because you see now they are triggered already, so they think you're lying.
Oh.
So be
Yes.
transparent from the very
From
beginning.
the very beginning.
Yes.
Wow. That is for anxious.
Yes.
What traits then reflect avoidant? How does avoidant play? How does it come out?
An avoidant just feels like they do not want to be in a relationship. They want to be independent. They do not want you to be clingy. They always feel like somebody wants to take advantage of them. So they're just hyper vigilant. They just want to protect themselves. And because of that, now their behavior can come out as, you know what, a lot of people would describe like you're a jerk, like you don't care about me,
Yes.
you're just a horrible human being. But as we said, we need to look at them with empathy to know that these people are like this because but we are not saying it's an excuse, you know, why you should remain like that. That is why we talk about some of the things you can do to make sure that this is something you can change, because all of us should aspire to be better versions of ourselves. So being aware or of what we are, how we respond to our partners in relationships should then inspire us to want to start a journey of self-healing, of becoming better versions of ourselves, so that, because in as much as we are encouraging you as an anxious person to get a secure person, you also need to be a secure person for this other person. They shouldn't have to deal with you being anxious for the rest of your life so that they suffer. Because you mentioned some of the downsides of somebody who has to deal with your traits. Then we don't want to subject them to that for the rest of their lives. They also deserve a break. And partners who are also healed, who are thriving.
So I shouldn't own it. Not like a card they should
No,
go.
no, actually, don't.
You know
don't.
me, I'm like this.
I feel like when you recognize it, we are not condemning you for being that, but can you do something about it? Because there's something that can be done. Because it's like anger management.
Yes.
People who have anger, we recognize that it started from somewhere, like you're talking about teenagers, when they are rebellious. And you can now say, I slap you here when you're in this set, and then I tell you, I'm sorry, I have anger management.
I have anger issues. You know, you said that. I remember that I had a discussion with my daughter. I know she will watch this. I love you. You know I love you, yeah? So anytime we talk about something, she tells me, Mom, you know me, I'm an overthinker. I overthink. Then Sunday we go to church, and then the preacher talks about worry and how sometimes worry comes out as overthinking, and we keep saying like this is how I am. Me, I'm an overthinker. So later when we got back, we be like, "Hey, Mom, from today I'm not an overthinker." I'm like, yeah, is that a card you go floating around saying no? Yeah,
It's
because
something,
also I believe if I walk like that, then I don't think I need help. I'm okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's no avenue for me to get help.
No. In as much as we're not condemning you, you still need to work on
yourself.
yourself.
For the sake of the other person.
Yes, exactly. You want to be in a healthy, long-lasting relationship. So you help that relationship.
Amazing.
And of course, now these people, because they like being alone, they like maintaining strict boundaries. They emphasize on boundaries a lot. And they're unhealthy ones. You know, they're healthy boundaries.
They're healthy boundaries.
Them, they are rigid. It has to be like this. If not, it's not working. They'll be gone. So on this other hand now, we have things that they do to make sure you stay as far away from them as possible. And some of those things that they do is something we call the ex phantom. They will be fantasizing. Haven't you had these people, when you're in a relationship with them, the only thing you talk about is my ex. My ex was good. My ex was washing my clothes. My ex was this. My ex that. Good things. And then they will tell you what you're not doing, you know. And then you see this is a trait to show you they actually like being in a relationship until it gets close. So this, when they're telling you about the ex, is just a way of making sure that you just stay back, stay away. And then they have another one of looking for the one. And you know, this one, the one, the soulmate or whatever you call them, even if they came, they wouldn't recognize them. Because they focus on the small imperfections. When they see that it's getting serious, they even see your nails. Alina, you don't like making your nails. And that will be a reason why they'll break up with you.
Yes.
Those small things that are not so important in a relationship.
They look for any...
Yes. So even if even if I was the one, for people who believe in soulmates, if I was the soulmate to this person, they wouldn't even recognize me because my nails will stop them from recognizing what I'm bringing to the table. Yes. And therefore it becomes a problem now, because if they are waiting for the one, and then when they break up with their ex, they start feeling like that was the one. And also, they don't
Oh.
like being alone. In as much as they don't want intimacy,
Yes.
actually, it's just a coping mechanism. It's not something they feel deep. It's trauma, speaking for most
Oh,
parts.
yeah.
Otherwise, when they break up with someone, that's when they start thinking, that was nice. They recognize when you're gone.
When it's done.
Yes, they recognize that was a good relationship. Maybe I should have stayed in it. But then even if you come back, it will still be the same thing all over again. Yeah.
Let's talk about secure. We said secure is ideal. We should strive towards.
So for secure people, they are available, they are accommodating, they communicate well, they solve conflicts well, they are able to tell you their needs without shying away. They are also able to hear your needs and contribute to taking care of them if they are reasonable. They're also just able to connect. They're not afraid of physical intimacy or any kind of intimacy. They're emotionally supportive. They're just there to support you. And they don't even take credit for supporting you. That is how healthy they are. They are very secure in themselves and who they are. They are confident. They don't need, you to feed their ego so much. They are secure in who they are. And that is why you hear now, we are telling, if you're struggling with, if I am anxious and I'm struggling in that sector, I need to look for a secure person. Because research found that even when an anxious person and a secure person, they meet, when you do even the relationship check between a secure and then secure and anxious, sometimes it's just the same. And that tells you being secure is very big. They're able to buffer the weaknesses of this other person and just make the relationship equal. Because they're the kind of people you will wake up and you're quarreling and you're what? They are just quiet. And then they'll be like, I'm sorry that it feels that way to me. This is what I meant. Not rising up to you and,
Yeah.
you're
Both of you
unreasonable,
are
you're just obsessive, you're just nagging. And, when you tell them, because remember what they're looking for is to be reassured
Reassured,
that you're
yeah.
there, you're not going anywhere. So when you get somebody who is resilient enough, then they're able to deal with that. But now the problem with, just to take it back a little bit, with anxious people, they are attracted to avoidance.
Oh.
That is the downside. That is why a lot of now anxious people are not ending with secure people to bring this balance that can happen. Because there's something, when you're dealing with trauma, there's some, or for instance, when people say, all men are the same, all women are the same, they mean it in the negative. And then they attract that. Because you see, it's the energy, you've already put it in your mind that all men are bad. You will not meet the good ones. You'll be wondering how come all the good men are going to your friends,
Yes.
but you're getting the bad ones.
Meanwhile, it's the energy you are releasing.
Your subconscious is choosing the people that are good for you based on what you fed it. You fed it that you it's just a whole dynamic that happens and then there is this thing where an avoidant, when you're dating an avoidant, they want you, they don't want you. They beat you, they apologize with flowers, even buy you a car or so many other things. So there's this high and down movement going, a roller coaster, that is very exciting. The same way you hear people say, we want to fight, then you can have a good relationship after we make up. It's the same dynamic with an anxious and an avoidant. And therefore, they like the thrill. When they meet a secure person, they are boring.
Yeah, because they have it. It's like they seem like they have it all together. They are cool, calm, collected. They know what they want.
No, there is no excitement.
Yes.
The excitement of I
the
like
highs
you,
and lows.
the present, and the beating, and all the things that come with it.
And the ghosting.
Yes,
Nowadays
so
ghosting.
This one is more exciting. That is why even a friend will tell you, I have two people, I want to marry them. One of them is so boring, but the other one is just exciting. And then you go for the exciting, not knowing, and in your brain, that is love. The other one, the boring one, you're saying, I'm not even attracted to this person. that physical, there are no butterflies and things like that, because you're used to a different, your brain already defined for you what excitement and love is.
Yes.
So this cool, calm, collected person who is not matching your energy is boring and unattractive.
Wow.
Yeah, so now this secure person, they also need to protect themselves. You
I
know,
was going to ask that.
if you, because you see, you can't live your whole life healing. You're not the
Yes.
doctor.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for people,
Yeah.
which means you need to identify
where you
your
are.
limit.
Mm.
And you need to watch out. The moment you realize some things are changing about you, you realize now you're starting to match their energy.
Oh.
If they are anxious, you're trying to join them in the traits we talked about, being anxious.
Yes.
If they're avoidant, you also realize the way you're communicating so well, now you're just preferring not to say anything because what will come out will be misinterpreted. It means they are changing you.
Yes.
They are shaking your secure base,
Yes.
your secure foundation.
Wow.
And it's time to recognize this is a dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah.
I cannot help you. Yes.
Because they'll pull you on their side.
They will.
So when these people, how do I put it? Even in our workspaces, in our day-to-day engagements, probably I was going to ask that because I felt if this ideal is where we are all looking to, and this ideal is not able to, what did you say? They should be able to gauge their limit, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so that again, I'm not the one who is like carrying all your luggage. No, it's like you come and dump everything on me.
Yes.
Before you know it, I'm also now I'll start behaving like you. Yes. So when we are in our spaces, when we are engaging, when we are in relationships, when we are in our homes, even parenting our children, because I think these things they also pick from how we raise them.
Of course.
Yeah. So how do we help one another? We have already said we extend grace when I see somebody like that. We are empathetic. How else can these people get help? It's professional help.
Yeah, of course, now as the person on the receiving end, you know, the way you're saying somebody dumping things on you, we need boundaries. And that is one thing that I cannot overemphasize, having boundaries, knowing when you can't cross this, communicating them clearly, and implementing consequences when your boundaries are violated. Because a lot of people will be like, these are my boundaries, but they never do anything if somebody violates their boundaries.
Oh, wow.
They'll look away or move on.
That's so true.
You need to tell someone. If your friend is just doing things that you wouldn't want, or even your spouse, you know, shouting and all of that, you're like, it's not okay for you to talk to me like this. You need to respect me just like I respect you. And if you talk to me again like this, I will do this. And when they do, you do that.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it will just be empty. They know I'll do it and nothing will happen. But then now when it comes to now how to help these people to be able to rise up and get closer to being secure, because it can be a journey. So one of the ways, first of all, being aware, like we said before in a previous episode, we talked about somebody being aware that this is the traits that I have, this is how they affect the people that are around me. So when you identify this is who you are, accept it. Because you see, you can't do anything if you don't accept it.
Oh, yes.
Accept this is who I am. This is how things happen. You know, this is how I affect people. Because when you know you affect the people you love negatively, there's something in you that wants to do better or to just take care of their needs. So that is one. And another thing is now starting your own healing journey. And this could look like having a psychologist or a therapist if you wish, so that you can go through, first of all, you will do like an assessment that will portray these are, what is your main attachment style? What are other areas that, because you can be secure and still have like 50% secure, and then you have 20% here. Like it's possible to have so many of
multiple.
them, yes, following you, so that you know what is it that I am addressing. And then based on your individual person, what is it that you can do? And one of the things is identify. For instance, when you realize you're dealing with abandonment, for instance, and then you know, which means people trigger me when I feel like they're withdrawing. I mean, your partner could have come from work. Life was so hard when he was working, and he comes home, he's tired, and therefore he doesn't feel like talking or doing. The anxious person, like we are breaking up. I don't know what he's
I
doing.
don't know what is going on.
But you see, it's not even about you. And therefore, when you realize that is a thing, ama, you want to call people 1,000 times because you have a need. The first thing, identify your need. What is it that I need? Why am I calling this person 1,000 times? What is it that I need? For anxious, they probably need an assurance. They need, and then you ask yourself, can I provide these things for myself? Because a lot of people, they don't even think about it. You realize something and you pick the phone. You don't even sit and think. Because all of us, we are equipped in our, deep down, we are all equipped. I subscribe to that school of thought. We are equipped to actually deal with our issues. It's just that we don't sit with it to identify what is the issue. What are possible things that I can do? What would be the consequences of each? And then when you're able to identify that, then you can start working on how to change that particular behavior, because we said behaviors can be changed. We don't have a lot of time to talk about ways to go through changing a behavior, but in a nutshell, your brain, what directs you what to do, how to respond to relationship is in your subconscious, which means you have the capacity. That's why even the Bible talks about renewing your mind. It means you need to feed your mind different information than the one it knows right now. And I'm telling you, the first time you feed it, it will not accept because it likes familiarity. It doesn't like anything new.
That will challenge.
But the more you feed it that, then it will realize, oh, this is something that we can accept. And people say it takes like 21 days to change a habit. You feed it the same thing, just don't pick so many things at once. Pick one that you want to deal with. Keep reminding yourself, repeating yourself. Look for evidence why whatever you're telling yourself is true. Because remember, your brain, it's not stupid, it knows. It knows what works, that has worked before. So if you want to tell it a new thing, you need to get evidence. You're saying I'm worthy. What are things that make me worthy? Feed it the evidence. Show it other people that are also worthy, that were like you before, and they are thriving. And then the brain will pick it up. Within 21 days, there will be a lot of difference in how you deal with your relationships. Yeah.
Amazing. I feel like we can really never say we have nailed it.
Nope.
We have finished, we are done.
Yeah.
But your final word to somebody who is watching.
My final word would be, in this world, you're looking for somebody who you can be interdependent with, somebody who can love you, somebody who can communicate well, somebody who can support you in your dreams. But don't settle only for that. Become that person. And then the two of you can come out and build the best relationship there is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I need to add? I feel like it has been said. We are at that point of drops mic. But I hope that this session has been helpful. I hope that you have been able to assess. Number one, we have said one of the things we need to do is be aware. This is where I am at. Awareness. Once you are aware, then seek help. There's what I can do. There's what I can do. There's self-assurance, the affirmation, and all that I can do. And what is beyond me, help is available. Get a therapist, talk to somebody. Just don't remain in that state. And so I believe that between episode 1 and this part 2, you have been able to pick some pointers you can work on, and even now help you live better relationships and also become a better person. We said interdependence is about adding value to the other person and not to the other person adding value to me, so that we form healthy relationships. So thank you for your time. Thank you for always engaging with us. Thank you for every subscription, every share, every email, comment, WhatsApp. Thank you. You guys are just the best. This year, you are just the best. So until next time, God bless you and may God do you well. Feel free to click on the link below subscribe, share this video with someone else. Let us share this information so that you can help each other to embrace authenticity, one conversation at a time. God bless you, and may God do you well. Thank you.